Hello, welcome to the stream. My pretty terrible blind playthrough of the Circle Undone cycle. Today we're about to start Scenario 6, Union and Disillusion. Okay, so just as a quick catch up, the previous scenario went pretty badly. I was defeated. So as a result, I have to skip the entire interlude where it looks like I might have found out some interesting information. And now we move on to Scenario 6, Union and Disillusion. The unvisited isle lies in the midst of the Miskatonic River, in between two of the bridges that span the river and connect the downtown and riverhood neighbours of Arkham. Overgrown with vines, thorns and unnatural underbrush, the island is home to no residents and very few fauna. Rows of mysterious stone pillars stand sentry throughout the island, rising high above the treetops. Though many theories abound, none know for sure what purpose those stone pillars serve or who built them. Very few dare to venture onto the shores of the enigmatic island, and those who do return with strange tales. Bonfires in the woods at the darkest hours of night, stone altars with deep carvings impossible to translate, empty wood devoid of life save for the stark black ravens and whippoorwills who perch on the tree branches and watch trespassers with eager eyes. Unfortunately for you, the stakes are too high for you to heed these many warnings. The streets of Arkham are emptier and quieter than you have ever seen them before. A familiar grey mist has enveloped the town. The haze grows denser and thicker the closer you get to the river. You move with haste, not wanting to encounter any others on your way to the site of the ritual, whether they be living or dead. You find several rowboats moored by the docks and climb aboard one of them. With the waters unnaturally still and barely any current carrying the boat, rowing toward the island should be a simple endeavour. Even so, the dense fog makes it difficult for you to get your bearings. Soon you are completely enclosed by the grey mist, unable to see the banks of the river or the coast of the island. Shapes emerge from the fog, ripples appear on the surface of the water. The gaze of the watcher is upon you. Just then, a pillar of spectral energy ascends into the sky, clear as day, even through the haze. The shapes all turn their attention to this beacon, and you sense the watcher's gaze slipping from your soul. The rite has become. You row faster, using the light to guide you. It is time to decide once and for all why you have come. Are you here to aid the Silver Twilight Lodge, or to disrupt them? This is a point of no return. You will not get the chance to change your mind later. The investigators must decide. Choose one. We have to help complete the Lodge's ritual. Completing the ritual should bind the Spectral Watcher and prevent it from doing any more harm. We have to stop the Lodge's ritual. Disrupting the ritual should release the Spectral Watcher's tether to the mortal realm. Well, given the way my campaign has gone so far, I've been defeated at multiple opportunities, missed lots of opportunities to gain any information about what on earth is going on. My investigator is completely clueless. We have no idea whether the witches are the bad guys, whether the lodge are the bad guys, or whether they're both just different bad guys. I have no idea. So all I can base my decision on is that bad things happened in lodge venues twice so far this season, so I am going to side with the witches. We have to stop the Lodge's ritual. Disrupting the ritual should release the Spectral Watcher's tether to the mortal realm. In your campaign log, record the investigators sided with the Coven. Investigators sided with the Coven. Done. Okay, so I've been through all of the setup. To be honest, before I started streaming, I'd made the decision I was going to side with the Coven, but let's follow it through. If the investigators side with the Coven, the braziers at the Forbidden Shore and both unvisited isle locations are already lit. Place a resource token on the Forbidden Shore and the two unvisited isle I've set everything aside that I need to set aside. I've randomised the 2 unvisited R locations. We're on the trail of Jerome, so his asset card is over there out of play and his story card is sat there under the scenario card. And I've already pre-selected the correct versions of Act 3 and 4 based on the decisions we've made. So because I've sided with the Coven and I don't know anything else, it's Beyond the Mist version 4 for Act 3 and The Broken Right for Act 4. And then we start, well, let's read the agenda. The Lovers, 6. You are at a crossroads. Reflect on the choices you have made. You shall be confronted with a terrible dilemma. 8 doom to advance that. And there's the unvisited isle with the beam of light shining up. The foggy shores of the unvisited isle are barren and unwelcoming. Not a soul greets you as you draw closer to the island, save for the judging gaze of ghostly birds that observe you from the trees. In the distance, the pillar of spectral energy is rising into the clouds, a vortex of otherworldly mist spiraling about it. So we need 3 clues to advance the agenda. For each heretic that was unleashed into Arkham, place 1 doom on the agenda, so it was 3 in the last scenario. So we are starting with 3 out of 8 already placed on the agenda. So the new thing in this scenario is we have these circles and braziers. Throughout the scenario you will find locations with braziers on them which can be lit or unlit using the circle action on that location. A circle ability is always used to either light or unlight a brazier and serves no other function. Lighting braziers is an important step on completing the ritual set up by the Silver Twilight Lodge. Whether you want braziers lit or unlit depends on whether you plan on aiding the lodge or thwarting them. So I'm guessing that means I have to unlight those 3 braziers. Skill tests on circle actions often require an investigator to test multiple skills at once, such as test, book and fight. Such a test is considered to be a test on both skill types. Cards with either icon may be added to the test, and both icons are considered matching. If it is lit, you place a resource to show it is lit. If it's unlit, you remove the resource to show that it is no longer lit. If it's unsuccessful, nothing happens. Right, okay. Let's do this. Let's just get the Twitch. Let's get Twitch open for the complete absence of people watching who might be wanting to chat. Nobody wants to chat and nobody's watching. Right, so here I am, Jenny, alternate Jenny, starting with 1 physical trauma, 2 mental trauma. I have adaptable, though I haven't used it. Let's deal my opening hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the Lucky Cigarette Case, which I have not yet managed to use this game. The Black Book, that boosts my intellect, sorry, my willpower and my intellect. And I can use it to reduce the cost of cards I play, but I have to take a horror to do it. Opportunist, just to help boost some skills. Watch this. I can spend 3 resources and get twice that many back. And Dark Horse. I'm tempted to actually ditch the lot. I suspect I will need weapons. Jenny's got pretty even stats 3 all round, so depending on how high the circles are, I guess it's not going to be too bad. But let's see, I'm going to go at this, aren't I? Narrow Escape, Hard Knocks, Switchblade, the Green Man Medallion, and the Lucky Cigarette Case. It wants to be played today, doesn't it? Okay, so Investigators begin at the Miskatonic River. Your boat sways gently along the current of the rippling water. The river is deep and dark, and you find yourself suddenly wondering how many bodies might lie forgotten along the riverbed, never to be seen again. So it's a 5-shroud location, no clues, and it gives us a resign option. You take your rowboat back to the shore of the Miskatonic River, leaving the mysterious island behind. Despite the urgency of your task, you find yourself rowing quietly as though trying to avoid disturbing the river. Okay, so I think, excuse me, I'll take a swig of my unfeasibly large coffee. Excuse me, I think I ordered a large cappuccino. 0 bonus points for recognising that quote. I'm going to pay 1 to get my knife out. I'm going to pay 2 for hard knocks. I'm going to pay 2 to get the lucky cigarette case out. Get me some free cards. I think that's what it does. Yeah, free cards. That's my 3 actions done. Okay, there are no enemies in play, so we can skip the enemy phase. Nothing to ready. Card. Hypochondria. Well, at least I get my weakness out of the way early on. And resources. So Jenny gets 2. Doom on the agenda. That takes us to 4 out of 8 and an encounter card. Eager for Death. Test head of 2. Increase this skill test by 1 for each damage on you. I have 1 damage, so that makes it head of 3. If I fail, I take a horror. So hypochondria won't boost that. So I'm testing head of 4. I've already sorted the bag out. Head of 4. I've got head of 3. I don't need to have adaptable on the show. And that should have been these should have gone into me. So I can spend a resource to boost nothing that helps. I think I might throw in the Green Man medallion then, because I doubt I'm going to use that. It's a lot of work just to reduce the XP cost of the next upgrade by 1. So, yeah, let's lob in the Green Man medallion. So I'm going in with 3, 4, 5 against 4. Score -2. That's a fail. What a great start. Take 2 horror. So I'm now at 4 out of 7 horror. Okay. Well, I am going to spend 2 actions to get rid of hypochondria straight away. And then my 3rd action will be to move to the new location, Forbidden Shore. This is a woods location. As you land on the shore of the island, a flock of birds chatter from the treetops, admonishing you for your trespass. You intrude nonetheless, ignoring the many warnings and indicators that you should turn away. Forbidden Shore. So this is a 3-shroud location, and it's test head or book 3 to find the brazier by the wooded trail. And it's a haunted. I must lose an action or lose 2 resources if I fail an investigation here. So the brazier is lit. We have one clue to be found. So this test is book or head, so it's not a combined one. I have nothing to boost a book or head at the moment. It's a shroud of 3 as well, so it's a book of 3 to investigate. That should have gone away. So let's test. Doesn't really matter what I test, does it? Because I'm on 3 on everything. Shall I go for the clue or shall I go for the breeze? Yeah, the circle. Let's get the clue, I think. We'll start the story moving. So test 3 on 3. That's a fail. Haunted, I must either lose an action or 2 resources. Well, I've got no actions left because that was my 3rd action, so it has to be the 2 resources. Right, no hunter enemies in play. No enemies to attack. Nothing to ready. Get a card. Premonition, nice. And my 2 resources back. And a next encounter. Death approaches. Death approaches to any investigator's threat area. Well, it's going after me then, isn't it? When you would take 1 or more horror, take 2 additional horror. So that's that will kill me. And it's Surge as well. Whispers in the dark. Each location gains Haunted. Take 1 horror. Wow. Okay. Action 1. So this is, as a fast action, I'm going to do a premonition. I am going to use premonition to see what the next token being drawn from the bag is. And it's a -1. Okay. That was a fast action. So my second action, I'm going to draw. So this is my first action. I'm going to draw. Because that was fast. And now, because I know I have a -1, I only need to boost by 1. So I'm going to investigate and commit unexpected. Second action, draw another card. Lone Wolf. The monies will be nice. Third action, let's get that investigation done. I'll commit unexpected courage, so I'm going in with 5, and because of premonition I've drawn a -1, so that is a success. So action 1 was draw a card. Action 2 was draw a card. Action 3 was thingy, yeah. No enemies in play. Nothing to ready. Resources. And the card. Watch this. Doom takes us to 6 out of 8. That gets discarded because the round has ended. Thank goodness. Fate of All Fools. So I'll get Fate of All Fools as well. premonition is spent. How did they do? Draw the thingy. Action 1. I'm going to draw again. Action 1, draw. Opportunist. Action 2, let's light the brazier then. So we're going with 3. You can't see all my tokens on the stream, so you can't see what I've got. I'm going to draw again. Action 2, draw. Flashlight. That would have been useful earlier. Action 3, draw. I just don't feel at all ready for any of this yet. Into enemy's move. Not in play. Ready card, nothing to ready. Card and resources. So I'll get 2 more resources. And a card. Another premonition. Okay. Doom, 7 of 8. And an encounter. Realm of Torment. Put Realm of Torment in your threat area. When your turn begins, resolve each haunted ability at your location. When your turn ends, test head of 3 to discard it. I need to cure my horror, because death approaches is going to kill me. I can't remember if I've got anything in my deck to cure horror. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. This could be a very short round. I have to lose an action or lose 2 resources. Right, lose an action or lose 2 resources. Let's lose an action. So that's my first action gone. I'm going to play Premonition as a freebie. And my Premonition is -2. So, I need to somehow have a 5 to succeed in unlighting that brazier. A 5 of head or book. It's a waste of a what's this and an opportunist, isn't it? But I need to get stuff done. Could I do it another way? No, I need the flashlight. Let's pay 2 to put the flashlight in my other hand. Just ready for the next location. And then my final action, let's sort the brazier out then, if I can. Or do I just risk it anyway and save? Oh no, I've got to use the premonition, haven't I, on the next? Yeah, I can't choose not to do that. Yeah, let's bung these 2 in then to force it to be a 5. So that's a 5. 3 minus 3, I've unlit a brazier. No enemies in play. Nothing too ready. So premonition spent now. Doom causes the agenda to advance. The mist obscures the moon, plunging the woods into darkness. A flock of birds suddenly scatter from the treetops. Shall put the encounter deck into the discard pile into the encounter deck. Both cards. Oh dear, excuse me. Can't get over how badly this has started off. Right. Check the missing persons section. If at least one character was taken by the Watcher, I believe Jerome was taken by the Watcher. Jerome was taken by the Watcher. Beyond the spectral mist, an awful scream sounds through the woods. It is distant, as though heard through a pane of glass, but distinct enough for you to know it is real. For each character who was taken by a Watcher, place 1 resource on the spectral Watcher as a stolen soul, even if it is currently out of play. Which it is, isn't it? Yes, so the Watcher's... It's in the Watcher's Grasp set, isn't it? There he is. So the Spectral Watcher has 1 resource on him as a stolen soul. Until the end of the scenario, the Spectral Watcher gains the following text. For each stolen soul on the Spectral Watcher, it gets +1 fight and +1 health per investigator. Keep this card next to the agenda deck as a reminder and advance to 2A. I'll leave that there. Crossroads of Fate. As you continue through the woods, you notice the dark mist which has permeated the island is starting to drift away from the shoreline toward the centre of the island, where the beacon of spectral energy still rises into the sky. So we have 10 turns, less whatever Ancient Evils does to us. Shapes in the Mist. Surge. Resolve each haunted ability on your location, so I lose an action or 2 resources. Let's lose 2 resources. And that gains Surge. Psychobomb. This has Surge. When I would take a damage, take 2 additional damage. This is just getting ridiculous. And that has Surge. Shapes in the Mist. Resolve each haunted ability on your location. Let's lose an action this time. And that has Surge. Terror in the Night. Test head of 4. My head is 3. I have nothing I can boost it with. I failed by more than 3, so this gets Surge. This goes next to the agenda deck. So that gets Surge. Eager for Death. Test head of 2, increased by 1 for each damage on you. If you fail, take this is it. I'm dead. Test head of 2, I've got head of 3 and no way to boost it. Failed. Take 2 horror. That puts me on 6. Then, where are we? When you would take 1 or more horror, take 2 additional horror. So that puts me on 7. That puts me on 8. That is me killed on turn 6. That was awful. Absolutely awful. Well, that's the joy of Arkham Horror, I suppose. So let's have a look. What happens now? You barely remember sprinting back to the shore and getting in your rowboat. It is as though you were possessed by a fit of madness or by a spirit bent only on survival. You cannot say. You are shaken to your senses by a powerful gale which sweeps across the river, almost capsizing your boat. The spectral pillar marking the site of the lodger's ritual suddenly bursts outward. Dozens of spectres and phantasmal shapes fly across the treetops and glide across the water. You will never forget their shrieks, like hundreds of death cries sounding at once. Skip to resolution 5. Check your campaign log. Compare the following 2 columns to see which has the most true statements. So the Witcher's spell was broken. We rescued Joseph. 1 off you heretics. Which spell was cast? Joseph. So which of these 2 columns has the most true statements? The Witcher's spell was broken. Yes. The investigators rescued Joseph / Joseph is alive and well. I don't have anything in my notes about Joseph. Heretics. The Witcher's spell was cast? No. 2 more heretics? Yes. Well, I'm guessing Joseph must be alive and well. I'm going to have to go back to previous resolutions to double check. So the witching hour, I've got resolution 1. Nothing about Joseph there. At death's doorstep, I was killed. Resolution 3. Secret name. Resolution 1. No mention of Joseph there. Scenario 4. Wages of Sin, I got resolution 2. No mention there. And for the greater good, I was defeated. I'm guessing if I don't know that Joseph's dead, do I know he's alive? I'm going to assume he's alive then, because I don't know for definite that he's dead. Which means it's column 1, so resolution 6. When you come to your senses, the wind has subsided and the dark mist has vanished. With the ritual concluded, the island seems to have returned to normal. But was the ritual successful, or did it fail? You make your way to the centre of the island to find out what happened. As you arrive, you find Annette and her coven heavily wounded, and the lodge stands victorious. Carl Sanford holds a thick leather tome in his hand, its pages glowing with arcane power. "What have you done?" Annette yells. Several members of her coven surround her. They are embattled, but you have no doubt they would lay down their life to protect their high priestess from harm. "What have I done? Why, I cheated the devil," Sanford responds with a sinister grin. You notice the words of his tome are now glowing with a spectral radiance. Kezia signed the Black Book of Azathoth in order to learn the secrets of the universe, a fatal error in my estimation, for it put her in the clutches of one far more powerful than she. He begins to read from the pages as he explains further. She paid the price, but I shall reap the harvest. Annette clenches her jaw and turns toward you. Listen to me. You cannot even begin to fathom the secrets this monster now possesses. You must stop him, no matter what the cost. You hold your tongue, but at the back of your mind you suspect Annette is right. Sanford has tricked you. This is what he was after all along. Perhaps he considers this protecting humanity, but the truth is he has endangered the lives of others over and over again in order to serve his own greed and lust for power. Told you. However, before you can confront Sanford, he turns to the other members of the Order and points at you. This one is no longer useful, he explains. Kill them all. Erin, give us cover, Annette barks to the red-haired witch next to her. The witch nods in response and waves a wooden rod in front of her, creating a cloud of mist that masks your presence. We have to get out of here. Go, Annette yells. Your escape is a blur. Robed members of the Silver Twilight cult chase you relentlessly throughout the Forsaken Woods. You are only barely able to make it back to the shore before they catch up to you. You motion for Annette and the others to join you, but she shakes your head. We'll meet again soon. The edge of the witches' cloaks bleed into the night sky, and with a swirl of darkness they vanish, one by one. In your campaign, record Carl Sanford possesses the secrets of the universe. Skip to Resolution 8. When you finally return to the banks of the Miskatonic River, you take stock of the situation. If an investigator deck contains the puzzle box card, it doesn't. Check the missing persons log. No, none of them are still alive. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory value of each card in the victory display. 0. Wow, that was a spectacular failure. I can't believe quite how badly that went. But then again, it's me, and I'm playing Arkham Horror, so those two things in unison can only mean defeat. Right, well, thank you for watching. Be back next week. Well, next week it will probably be the first round of the League of Extraordinary Investigators Season 2. So the week after probably we'll be doing scenario 7, I can't read my Roman numerals, In the Clutches of Chaos. Goodbye.